Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to discuss whether Moralis makes your dApp centralized, and the short version, the TLDR, is absolutely not. But because Moralis offers a whole new way of building dApps, to build them quickly, to build them efficiently, to go to market quickly within a few days, to really build whatever use case you want as quickly as possible, it's important that we discuss the nuances here and how a Moralis dApp really works. If you want a TLDR yourself, you can find this blog post, Is Moralis Centralized, below, a forum post it is, and now I will explain to you the longer version of this, because all dApps, like we explained in our documentation, by the way, if you go to docs.moralis.io, all dApps, they have two parts. They have an on-chain part and an off-chain part. So let's say that you and I want to build some kind of NFT game. Will it completely be on-chain? Well, of course not. But the most important things will be on-chain. For example, the smart contracts that govern the game, who wins, who loses, how the assets flow. All assets are on-chain, so that if you have an NFT, nobody can take it away from you. You have the rules of the game. It's kind of in the smart contract. It is on-chain. And so the most important things that nobody should be able to touch, you have on-chain. Now, what do you have off-chain? Let's say that you're building this dApp completely yourself on your own infrastructure. Well, off-chain, you will have a server that connects to some kind of RPC node that logs in user, that keeps track of user data, basically. Which address does this user have? Should we send them an email? Should we send them a notification? Should they be able to log in via an app? How do they log in via an app? Do they log in via some kind of API? Do we have some kind of API to fetch user data? Do we have some kind of API to give the clients, web client, mobile client, real-time data, and so on and so forth? So this is how a normal dApp looks like. And this is what we show in this slide when we present Moralis normally to new developers, that if you're building a dApp, normally you have to build this yourself. I mean, this is your backend that you build. And where do you host it? You host it in a server. You have a server that is your backend, where you, for example, have socket connections for real time. You have database for indexing the blockchain, for having the data about the users. Maybe they have some off-chain data, some profile picture. You need to sync smart contract events, so that when users do something on-chain in your game, let's say, in your smart contracts, how is the event propagated to all the clients? Well, you need to index the smart contract events, and then you have to send some kind of socket, webhook, or you need to add your data to the API so that the clients can get it. You need to handle user lifecycle. For example, they log in, you need to fetch all their transactions, all their balances, all their NFTs, and so on and so forth. So this is normally what you have to do yourself. And guess what? Everyone does it themselves, because all dApps need this. All dApps, if you think about it, they need exactly the same things. They need to log in user, fetch balances, fetch real-time smart contracts. And you yourself end up building this, but it's not enough that you build it. You also have to provision, maintain, debug it. As soon as you get a few users, now this doesn't work anymore, because now you have to scale horizontally or vertically. You have to have a full-time team just scaling this and ensuring that this works. You will make so many bugs, it's going to be horrible. So don't do it, because this is what Moralis does. Moralis server is basically this backend that you will be building yourself, that you would be spending months and months and months to build. Instead, you don't build this at all. You use Moralis because it's already out of the box, and you can go to market in a few days instead of months and months and months. Because building this, it's not a joke. I mean, building this, it's a very serious thing, especially if you want reliability. You want your app to work, even if it has many users. Well, you know what? Just connecting to RPC node will not do it. You have to scale it. You have to have load balancing, and so on and so forth. So Moralis does all of this for you. But the question remains, does this make your app centralized? Well, absolutely not. Why? Because it's all about the fact that you can at any point recreate the server yourself. So you use Moralis in order to do things quickly. Let's say that you don't want to use Moralis anymore. Can you still go back to this? I mean, you're always able to go back to this. Nothing is stopping you from going back to this. If your dApp really becomes big and you want to do this yourself, you want to actually create this backend yourself, you can do that. But when you're starting from day one, you don't even know whether your dApp will get users. Will people like it? Is it a good idea? Is it a horrible idea? Will you get any traction? And you spend hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars building this, maintaining this, and then you realize, nobody wants my app. Instead, it's quicker to go to market fast, build it fast, show it to the world. And if you become huge, you become massive, well, you're always welcome to re-implement this backend yourself. That's number one. Number two is that you will not even have to, because we're soon offering self-hosted Moralis. So you want to host this yourself? Well, we got you. Number 3 is that you have the full database. You have full database access. You can export all data from Moralis if you want. So what Moralis is doing is taking care of the off-chain part of your application. It's removing all of this work that you have to do yourself and to maintain it and to debug it and so on and so forth. It scales endlessly automatically. It doesn't have any private keys. It doesn't hold any private keys. And it makes you go to market very quickly. In fact, 95% of your development time can be cut without compromising on centralization and decentralization. This is also a bit of a philosophical question. Will Web 3 and Web 2 merge together? We don't know that, but we're seeing some tendencies. A lot of Web 3 apps are kind of, this border is getting blurred more and more and more. And you do see, for example, huge apps like Top Shot, like Sorare. If you want great user experience, you first need to teach your users how to use your application, and then maybe you teach them about MetaMask. So this is what Moralis also allows you to do, that you can log in with email and password. If you have users that have never used crypto at all, you can log them in with email and password. You can teach them about crypto, and then you can just connect. You can just connect their crypto address and give them their assets after a while. So this is the flexibility of Moralis also. If you want to have something in between Web 2 and Web 3, Moralis is so great even there. If you want to be pure Web 3, Moralis is perfect there as well, like I just described. As you know, we have a lot of boilerplate projects, vanilla, React, Angular. We're coming out with React Native. By the way, we just launched React Native, so you can quickly go to market in doing a mobile app. We are coming to C# Unity in a month or so. This is going to be massive. And all in all, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this. We have our forum where we answer all your questions very, very quickly. It's a very active forum. You have some kind of question, you don't understand something does not work for you, just post here and we'll get back as soon as possible. So you can see it's extremely active. It's very active. Also, we are seeing a lot of growth in our community, so that if you build on Moralis, there will always be someone who can help you. Look here, for example. We are right now bigger than a lot of other infrastructure providers in terms of traffic. I mean, our community is exploding. So this gives you a lot of comfort that that your app will have support in the future, because there is a huge developer community around Moralis that is forming right now. So go wild here in the docs. You can learn a lot if you still don't know. Sorry. Voice is rug pulling at the worst possible location in a very, very important video. You can see all different tutorials, how to add a Fiat gateway, how to integrate DEX into your application, basically how you can, with one line of code, have a DEX trading in your application. So for example, let's say you build this NFT game we spoke about here before. What if you want to ensure that your users can trade your in-game assets? Well, you can integrate 1inch with one line of code, like I show you here with Moralis, because we have a plugin for that. We have games, how to create games, how to integrate physics, all of that, how to do it in the crypto way, and so much more. As always, subscribe to this channel. Hope you understood. See you all very, very soon, and goodbye, guys. Goodbye.